Hello, everybody. I'm Julia Atwood, Director of Music here. I have a tricky miracle story for you. It's not your typical miracle. It's more like one of the hard sayings of Jesus. I'm blessed, though, to share an office with Sister Mary Rose, and we have discussed this miracle together. So you're going to get two sets of insights in one today. In this passage from Mark, Jesus is traveling from Bethany to Jerusalem, and he's hungry. He sees a fig tree with leaves on it, and when he reaches the fig tree, though, he finds no figs, just leaves. So he curses it. By the way, this is Mark 11, begins at verse 12. So I've always wondered, what's going on here? Is Jesus overreacting because he's hangry? I mean, I overreact when I'm hangry, but that's a limitation I have because of my fallen nature. And that doesn't really apply to Jesus. So that cannot be what's happening here. To understand this passage, we need to first understand the life cycle of a fig tree. Fruit appears on a fig tree before the leaves fully open. So this fig tree in full leaf gives the appearance of bearing fruit without actually bearing any fruit. Let's also remember that Jesus is compassionate and merciful with people who recognize that they are sinners in need of redemption. He reserves harsh criticism only for hypocrites like the Pharisees who appear righteous and they follow the letter of the law, but they never bear fruit. They never allow their hearts and their minds to be transformed by the Spirit of the law. So let's take a look how Mark sets up this account. Jesus curses the fig tree. Jesus cleanses the temple by throwing out the money changers. And then as they're leaving Jerusalem, the disciples notice that the fig tree is withered after it was cursed. So why is this account of Jesus cleansing the temple in the middle of this account of the fig tree? Well, Jesus teaches the people in the temple saying, "Is it not written that my house shall be called a house of prayer for all peoples? But you have made it a den of thieves." So Sister tells me that the temple account is in the middle of the fig tree account because they're related. The evangelist Mark uses a literary technique in which he nestles a story within a story, kind of like a sandwich. So the middle story, the meat, tells us about the outer story, the bread. And in both cases here, the inanimate object represents the people of Israel and demonstrates how Israel is not living up to its covenant with God. The temple is a house of prayer, but it's not prayerful. It's a den of thieves. The fig tree is in full leaf, but it has no fruit. So St. Augustine asks the question that's on everyone's mind. What terrible thing had the poor tree done simply in not bearing fruit? Could the tree reasonably be faulted for its fruitlessness? No. But human beings who by their own free will decide not to bear fruit, that is a different matter. Those found wanting in accountability in this case are those who had the benefits of the law, which was meant to bear fruit, but they had no fruit to show for it. They had a full growth of leaves, the law, yet they bore no fruit, works of mercy. So this is part miracle and part cautionary tale. We can't just be good people. That's just the leaves. We must do justice, love mercy, and walk humbly with our God.